Welcome to Disney A, the Canadian-themed Disney travel podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Krysta.
And I'm Brandon.
So it's December and the holiday season, so we were planning, talking about the two Star Wars holiday specials, the one from the 70s and then the most recent one.
Oh, that sounds fun.
That sounds like a fun episode, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, something happened.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Disney happened.
So we're still going to talk about the Star Wars holiday specials today.
Yeah. Maybe just for a shorter time.
A short amount of time because we've got other things to talk about.
Yes.
All right. But we'll get to that in a bit.
Okay.
All right, so before we get to that now, is there a nerd thing that you might be into?
Well, I mean, like you said, it's December and Christmas time is coming, and I don't know, your nerd thing might be all the cheesy Hallmark movies you've been watching, but when it's like the holiday season, my mind leans more towards going skiing.
Oh.
So I'm looking forward to going skiing next week and finally busting out my new pair of skis.
Yes. So I always find it interesting because some people think like sports and things like that, like skiing, wouldn't be considered a nerd thing, but I'm firmly of the belief that a nerd thing is just whatever you're super passionate about.
Exactly.
That's
how I define it.
Well, that's how it should be
I'm
defined.
gonna be a big old ski nerd on that ski hill.
Exactly. I am frantically trying to finish my reading challenges for the year.
Ah.
Yeah, I always said like how many books I want to read every year and everything like that. And you would think with COVID having happened and everything that I would have read a lot more, but that didn't really happen. I kind of had COVID brain and stared at Tiger King and whatever else.
Tiger King and, well, I mean, the amount of random text you've read in Animal Crossing could count as a novel, I'm sure.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. Plus, online teaching, and it was the whole thing. But my goal this year was only 35 books, and I'm only 6 away from finishing, so it's kind of been my nerd thing.
That's a lot of books.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that because I only have 5 days left of teaching. So then I will, while you are skiing, I will be reading. And so that's kind of my nerd thing, other than, of course, all the stuff we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And then my other question is, what are you drinking?
Well, since we had to reorganize this whole thing, and that took a little bit of planning, we're quite boring because we're recording this first thing in the morning, and even I'm not that much of a booze hound. Just having coffee.
Yeah, me too. Plain black coffee out of a Christmassy mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Christmassy.
Well, you got to be festive.
That's right. But we're both having snowman mugs today.
Huh.
Yeah. So that brings us to a little chat about Mandalorian, our most recent episode.
Yes.
Yes. Gut reaction, no spoilers.
The current only streaming show on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Currently.
Dun, dun, dun.
So what did you think? It's the second last episode of the season.
Yeah. So it's kind of sad. You're getting to the end, and
you feel like you're getting to the end too.
And we're gonna have a bit of a wait for new episodes. About a year.
Yep.
It was as part of these big announcements that we found out that's how the filming schedule is going to line up and the release schedule and everything. So
next December.
It's going to be they have a lot of stuff to wrap up in one episode as well. So I don't know. It was a good episode, and they had some fun interactions between characters and stuff. There's been a lot less like just random episodes this season.
True.
Everything's kind of been in line except that second episode.
Yeah, and I maintain that if you watch the second one and then the third one back to back, I think it would improve it.
Yeah.
When we do the rewatch before season 3 comes out, because I'm sure we will.
We'll
probably binge them all.
We'll watch the whole.
Yeah, like
1 and 2.
Time.
Yeah.
So that might help it. I really liked this episode, except I have no idea what they're going to do with the last episode then, because they have to cram a lot in, I feel like.
Yeah, well, or it's going to be a Empire Strikes Back style cliffhanger.
Right.
I'm
and then wait for a year.
Betting all the credits on that. But yeah, no, this one was good, and it had some Western tropes.
Definitely, which I always enjoy.
Updated to be Star Warsy, and it's fun. Yeah,
I like the characterization, and that was a good one. Okay, so that brings us to the news. Disney A News Update.
News. Or as we're going to say, the episode today.
Yeah, the news is basically going to be the episode.
So if you've been living under a rock and haven't seen all the headlines, or just don't care about future things, Disney had an investors call on Thursday. And you hear that and say, oh, investors call. That's going to be boring. They're going to be talking about their quarterly reports and their TPS reports.
When you told me that, I was like, okay, neat. I guess that could be a cool news thing.
But the funny thing about investor reports is sometimes that's when they do reveal important upcoming projects because the investors need to know where they can expect their cash flows and things like that. And with COVID, there's been no major conventions or anything to make announcements either.
Typically, major announcements would probably come out because there's a Star Wars festival, there's D23, things like that. And
those have all been canceled or postponed or put online and they minimized.
Exactly.
So they went all out. They had a 4-hour streaming marathon of announcements and things to like help the investors kind of feel better about their money being invested with Disney still, even though they're kind of bleeding money with the parks being closed and theaters being closed and everything being closed.
Basically, there's a whole lot of reassurance going on.
Yeah, so you got your Marvel wing and you got your Star Wars wing and you got your Disney Animation Studios wing and you got your Pixar wing and they're all making stuff.
Yep.
Making a whole bunch of stuff.
Are they ever?
So we got a list here, and we're just gonna go point form through everything that was announced, and like quickly what we feel about it.
Before we start, how many announcements were there?
I think 52.
52 announcements.
Different properties, and the vast majority are going to be streaming specific. They're only coming out on Disney Plus.
So what's interesting, because so I'm in like a lot of course, like Facebook groups and things like that, and a lot of people have been talking about how disappointed they are on not new content on Disney Plus. There's basically been Mandalorian, a few other things like a few films and stuff like that.
So you had the big stuff on Disney Plus has been the Mandalorian and the extra season of the Clone Wars.
So, Star Wars properties, of course. But
those have both been extremely successful.
Yes.
And
it was like, where's everything else?
And then with COVID, they had the special premium release of Mulan, which was also extremely successful. Yep. So this has given them some...
And now it's been wide released. So it's interesting to hear that feedback. It's like, apparently they were just waiting because here it all is.
Yeah, well, they've tested out what works and what doesn't, and they're going to go ahead and what they said in the investor call is they're reorganizing their portfolio to be more of a direct-to-consumer production line. Yeah. So they're still going to make movies and put them in theaters, but...
It's not their focus anymore.
Well, it's not as much as their focus, and they see how much money they can make by cutting out that middleman.
Right, and we've had conversations about like the effect COVID is going to have on movie theaters and things like that, and this move, with current economic climates and everything like that, they make more money just doing direct too, right?
Yeah, they make.
So it's
they make more money, especially with the smaller things. Like your Avengers, of course, is going to make them barrels and barrels of money.
Yes, yeah.
So stuff like that is still going to come out in theaters. But the economy was always trending this direction.
Yes.
It was always going to move to a more streaming-focused type of thing. I think COVID just sped it up.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, and we've seen, like, if you look back through cinematic history, you've seen different shifts before. I mean, the theater, going to the theater was like going to a live theater. It used to be, right? You dressed up and everything like that. Now it's like, Cineplex, whatever.
Yeah, and your movies make their money over 4 weeks at most, whereas something like Gone with the Wind back in the day
years
sold tickets, billions of tickets over decades.
100%, yeah.
So
and
it's
people
different.
thought like with TV would shift everything, and then with VHS rentals and DVDs and stuff would shift everything. This is just another shift, right? It's not like movies aren't going to exist anymore, but Disney's like, let's look at Disney Plus here.
Yes.
All right. So what do we want to start with?
So I have Marvel at the top here.
Okay, well, let's go to Marvel.
I think that might be we'll just go through the list in order.
Good, because I'm really excited about something in Marvel that's coming really soon.
Yes. That's going to be, so we'll start with that because that's the next original property going to be hitting Disney Plus when?
January 15th.
Ooh.
It's right before my birthday.
Right before your birthday.
Yeah, I'm convinced it's a birthday present to me.
Yeah.
Is that WandaVision is going to be coming out.
Excellent. Yes, WandaVision, we've seen big, long trailers for it. It looks absolutely fascinating.
Amazing. Part of this was they released a new trailer, and that was really, really exciting.
Yeah, so different than the Netflix Marvel shows, which were loosely tied to the continuity of the movies, but the movies never talked about them.
Right.
These shows are going to be completely interwoven.
So smart.
Well, it's smart and also terrifying because you basically have to watch everything to be fully immersed in the story.
I think it's terrifying for the viewer.
Yeah.
And it's smart for the business.
Right. I mean, like, you can watch a movie in the MCU just one and sort of get what's going on.
Yeah, and enjoy it. And
but
stuff,
it brings you in so much more if you've watched everything.
And as true nerds, I love being like totally immersed in everything.
Right.
So literally, I'm like, I'm gonna have to put these things on a calendar or something because it's like, how can you can't miss any of it.
You gotta keep up. It's not just 2 to 3 movies every year, which was enough.
Yeah, and we would like doing rewatches, especially like of a sequel or something. Oh. Okay, so WandaVision is coming out in January. It looks amazing. I am incredibly excited about this. Out of everything coming out, there's probably like 3 or 4 things that's telling you how many things are coming out next year that I'm like really, really excited for. And like right top of that list is WandaVision. Scarlet Witch is my favorite MCU character, I think, if I had to be forced.
And she's been underused up until this point because they don't know how to use her. She's very powerful, so you kind of have to like shuffle her to the side, or the movie isn't very long.
Yeah, I remember watching a thing and they were going through all the MCU characters and being like, who was the strongest? And they're like, well, Wanda would basically just kill everyone, but she doesn't. Like, they don't do anything with her, so...
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what they do with her.
Yeah, and the series looks like it's all full of head games and...
Yeah, with my favorite stuff.
Lots of weird stuff, like they filmed the first episode in front of a live studio audience. So good. Like a really old sitcom. It's great.
Or something fantastic. Okay.
It's great.
So I know we talked about that a little bit more just because it's right away. We're really excited. Mm-hmm. So, next one.
Well, so WandaVision's going to be only 6 episodes, and then shortly after that finishes, we're going to get... The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, we figure probably like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah. Basically, they're going to be rapid-firing original shows. You're going to have something new to watch on Fridays for most of next year.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, if we're all still stuck inside anyway, oh well.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it.
For the foreseeable future anyway.
Yeah. Okay,
months.
So...
They released a full trailer of that.
Yes.
First full... piece of content we've seen from that. They had a little small teaser, but it didn't really show much.
We just knew it was coming. We didn't know when. We didn't know what was up.
And yeah, it looks really good. Like their production levels on these shows are movie quality. Mm-hmm. There's big budget CGI going on. Yeah. Like, I don't know, it's just a long movie.
Yeah.
And I like their interactions together.
That's what I'm most excited
It's kind of like a buddy cop movie where they like Lethal Weapon style. They don't really like each other, but they get the job done kind of thing. And
when it was first announced, I was like, well, that's a really weird pairing. I mean, like, WandaVision makes sense. They had like that dynamic and stuff. I was like, that's a weird pairing. The trailer totally sold me.
Yeah, I mean...
They had some fun interactions, but it was so minimal.
Their interactions in Civil War were like, because that was a very dark, downer movie. Mm-hmm. But them together was quite a bit of fun. So having a whole series of that is nice.
It looks really good. Yeah, we got the full trailer. It totally sold me on it. I'm very excited for it now. Like you said, those production values. That one's just gonna be a lot of fun. I think. Mm-hmm. I think the other one's got your head games and your like bit of psychological going on. This one is just gonna be like a good time, pop the popcorn kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next, we actually got a teaser for what I'm most excited about.
This is what I was tied for most excited for me.
No, this is number one with a rocket for me with not the raccoon. Just
that's different.
That's different. The Loki series.
Yes.
So if you remember from Endgame, when they did their little time heist to go get the Infinity Stones from other parallel timelines.
Yes.
They went back to the original Avengers movie where Loki had the Tesseract and this alternate Loki escapes with it.
Yeah.
So that's what the series is about, this alternate Loki. Because our Loki is, of course, dead.
Yeah.
Very dead. Actually dead this time.
They made a very clear point that Loki is dead, and then you're like, but everyone kind of assumed or heard, or there was rumblings that there would be a Loki series. Mm-hmm. So then they're like, but they keep saying Loki is dead and he's not coming back. Like, Loki is actually dead. Oh, that's how they made it work in that last film there. So we knew there was a series coming. We didn't know when. We didn't know anything about it.
Nothing about it. And so, you get this first look at it, and it's basically just going to be Loki skipping through time, almost Quantum Leap style. And he's got the Marvel time cops after him, and he's also going to be kind of like Forrest Gump, being major historical figures and stuff. Yeah. I was almost in tears watching this preview. So
yeah, when I said there were a couple things I was like super 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 excited for, this is another one. I know it's number one on your list, but I love Wanda so much that this would be like tied. Once WandaVision is done, then I'm going to start like freaking out over this one, I think. Loki is just one of the best characters ever, and I know everyone loves Loki, so this is not like a new statement or anything
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
and you can tell Tom Hiddleston has a lot of fun playing him, so it just works really well.
What a cool idea for a series. So this one looks great, and I can't believe we're getting it this year. We're getting it in May. I'm so excited about this.
Well, yeah, they had to delay things, so it's going to be coming out quick and fast when they finally do finish everything up. Like, some of the stuff was supposed to come out in 2020.
Yeah, but I mean, with 2020 happening, I figured everything would be just kind of pushed and pushed
you would
and
think
pushed,
so, but they were able to get some filming in, so... And then we have some more smaller stuff that they announced. This one's a little farther away, late fall 2021. But we did get some set shots, still photos type of thing from the Hawkeye series.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
So that would be good to kind of explore that character. He's been pushed to the sidelines because, I mean, what do you do with a guy with a bow and arrow?
Right.
He even makes a joke about that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a smaller stakes type of thing, I assume. But
I think so.
He's training his daughter to be Hawkeye Junior, I guess. I don't know, but it looks kind of...
I like that they explored, like, in the film a little bit, his family and his, like, the emotional aspect of that, of being a guy with a bow and arrow up against, like, he literally hangs out with an actual god. Like,
yeah,
right?
So
I like that they did that a little bit, but I mean, like you said, what else are you going to do with them? So I think this is going to be an interesting kind of way to do it, and I think this is going to be, like, another just, like, fun one.
Yeah. It's going to be different.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be more like a typical TV show.
Yeah, I think
kind of procedural. But we'll see how when we see more clips of it or something.
Right, yeah,
like, we haven't seen anything.
Mm-hmm,
yeah. Just we know who's playing his daughter. And
now, late fall can mean pretty much anything. I'm expecting this one, just judging from everything else being released on Disney+. My guess is going to be, like, late October into November even.
It'll fill in that slot before Mandalorian comes out in December.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Mandalorian was moved to December.
Yeah.
A big part of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's late fall. Then what?
Okay. Then they did show a clip of the new animated series set in the MCU, sort of, called What If?
Right.
So the concept of this show is that they're going to change one small thing from the MCU that you know and love and kind of explore what that would mean to the events that happen after it. So the good example that you see in the preview is, instead of Captain America being created, they're going to make Agent Carter become Captain America, or
which is really cool.
Captain UK or whatever. Like,
I guess she wouldn't be Captain America.
No,
she's British.
The Shield has the Union Jack on it, so anyway, so stuff like that. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So you had, like, Doctor Strange fighting his evil twin, and zombie Captain America.
Right?
Yeah.
That was really cool. And I really like the style of animation that looks like they're going to employ there.
It does look almost as comic booky as the Spider-Verse
that's
movie.
The vibe I got as well.
Not quite as stylized as that, but still evoking the comic books.
Yeah, definitely comic book inspired. And that, I just think, is going to be, like, an incredibly fun series.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool, I think.
We don't have a date on that one.
No.
But we did get, like, a little short trailer for it, which is kind of cool. Okay,
and then they hit us with some rapid fire just title cards where they're going to make these other series at some point. You have a drinking problem?
I just about spilled coffee.
You love coffee that much. Okay. Anyway.
No one would know I did that if you didn't say anything.
I know, but it was funny. They might have heard you choking. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, some more series.
Okay, yes.
Armor Wars, which is, I thought maybe was like some sort of History Channel where they're going to be building armor. But no, it's not that. It's going to be focusing on War Machine, played by Don Cheadle.
Which looks so cool.
And it's going to explore kind of the aftermath of Iron Man dying. No more Tony Stark, but his technology's still around, so War Machine has to kind of go around and save that from falling into the wrong hands.
Talk about another underutilized character, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love our original big characters we've had in the MCU to this point, but some of these other ones are just so awesome that it's great that we're going to get to explore them a little bit, and I think Don Cheadle did such a great job.
Well, and you can have a lot of good themes with gun control and military spending and stuff like that, so that's fun to explore too, I think, in that kind of way.
Right. So Armor Wars was one of them, yeah.
Armor Wars. This one's really exciting. They're going to be hitting the Secret Invasion story arc
Right.
as a series.
Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson is coming back as Nick Fury. So yeah, the Secret Invasion is probably one of the biggest comic book arcs. I'm not a big comic book guy, but I've even heard of it. Basically, just absolutely everyone in the Marvel comics is fighting these shapeshifters, and it's gonna be kind of cool as a series.
Cool.
Like I don't think you could do it in a movie just because it's so big.
Right.
They had mini arcs in different teams comics, like Fantastic Four had part, and Spider-Man had part, and the Avengers had part, and they all came together as like this whole big thing.
So that'll make more sense than to do the episodic nature of it, to be able to explore that way. All right, so rapid fire. We've got Secret Invasion. We've got Armor Wars.
They also announced Moon Knight, Ironheart. Oh yes, so they look like they're trying to make what they call the New Avengers,
right?
Which they did in the comics. Focus on the younger proteges. So Ironheart is a young female Iron Man.
That makes sense.
They did show a clip of Miss Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which is a newer comic book character, but quite popular. And
she's young.
She's very young, like even younger than Peter Parker is supposed to be in the comics. But she like kind of joins the Avengers and hangs out. She takes over the title of Ms. Marvel from Captain Marvel in the comics. She was Ms. Marvel originally. Yeah, she has some cool powers and stuff, so that could be fun as a series, and again ties right into Captain Marvel too. So
well, that's pretty cool. Okay,
yeah.
So Ironheart, Ms. Marvel. I know there were some more like looking at the younger Avengers and the new Avengers. Who else was coming in? Oh, you mentioned Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, yeah, which we haven't seen or heard much about it, but
you did say it was rumored a little bit ago.
Yes, but Oscar Isaac is going to be Moon Knight, so you will enjoy that movie.
Guarantee you, I will.
A little bit, yeah. He's kind of like Batman, but leans more into the crazy stuff. We did talk about it.
Yeah,
and he
I remember that.
given his powers by a moon god or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
he's not just an eccentric billionaire.
Yeah, he actually has powers.
That was Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly. And She-Hulk.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
That looks fun. They're gonna make a superhero lawyer procedural.
Yeah. What's up? Okay, did they just like have like a hat,
yeah,
like a grab bag kind of idea?
Yeah, it's whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, okay.
Scenes from a hat.
Perfect. That's what
Green lawyer.
We need a color, a profession, and
yeah. And Mark Ruffalo will be
Yay!
appearing in it as the Hulk.
Okay, I know I said Scarlet Witch was my favorite. My other favorite is the Hulk, especially played by Mark Ruffalo.
We're gonna go back and define the word favorite. For your English degree. Yeah.
I have too many favorites.
So that'll be fun, and there is some small rumors that since it is a legal show, some other famous Marvel lawyer may be appearing in it as well, but nothing confirmed.
Nothing confirmed. Maybe we could see or not see.
Yes. We'll be going in
Subtle.
blind to that.
Oh, that was better. That was better played.
Nothing
confirmed, but that would make sense.
What we're hinting at here is the rights recently reverted to Marvel for Daredevil.
Yeah.
And there is internet rumors abound that Charlie Cox from the Netflix series is going to reprise his role. Nothing confirmed.
Nothing confirmed, but it would make sense. You have a legal drama superhero MCU
and that
world.
Was one of the best Netflix shows. Jessica Jones was also really good.
Absolutely,
the other
love
two
Jessica
were
Jones.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like season 2 of Luke Cage a lot, and the first half of season 1, I think it kind of fell off a cliff in the middle there.
I didn't mind any of them. Jessica Jones and Daredevil were definitely the strong contenders there. I really like Jessica Jones, but I think
especially season 1 of Jessica Jones was like really good. But...
Exactly. Okay. Anyway, we could have a different conversation.
Oh yes, yeah, maybe we will.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, we've got a lot of tie-in there with Miss Marvel, and then of course Captain Marvel 2. Like I like that they're tying it in. It is a little bit. It could be a little overwhelming though.
Yes, it is a fear that they're doing too much, but if it's all good, then it doesn't matter, right?
Right, exactly. One thing I'm super excited about, you were talking about Rocket before.
I was.
Guardians of the Galaxy stuff.
Well, we're also talking about holiday specials.
Yes, that's right.
So we're still a ways off from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because of all the drama that happened surrounding that. But it was announced that James Gunn is going to be making a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Yay!
This will be out for Christmas 2022.
We have to wait a while.
Wait a while, and that's still quicker than Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which will be 2023.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then there's a series of short films.
Short films starring
Disney Plus. The short films are called I Am Groot.
I hope Vin Diesel is getting paid a lot of money to say the same thing over and over again.
So too.
So that's Marvel's Disney Plus slate.
Yeah, just the Disney Plus
That's
stuff.
only Disney Plus shows and
Holy.
shorts and things like that they talked about. They also are still going to make some MCU movies because, those make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Black Panther 2 was confirmed. They are not recasting Black Panther.
Yeah, not Chadwick Boseman is not being recast, and it's coming out. Oh, still set. They haven't pushed it back or anything. Mm-hmm. July 2022.
2022.
So of course, there's lots of rumor about what's going to go on there.
Yeah, who knows what hopefully they handle it well. It doesn't feel out of place, and hopefully it's like
they can explain
things, and it's done in a good way.
Yep.
That's an important movie to a lot of people.
Yep.
And
I have hopes for the way they're going to handle it, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. They announced the third Ant-Man film.
Yep.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Fun name.
Yeah.
Yeah, very Ant-Man-y.
Very Ant-Man-y. So we don't know anything about that. Apparently the villain is going to be Kang the Conqueror.
I don't know anything about Kang the Conqueror. I do know though that the core cast from the Ant-Man movies are set to return. Though.
Yeah. It's gonna.
We're continuing on.
Gonna be good.
We know Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer are in there, so we've got the whole crew. And
they're probably gonna do something with the quantum realm.
That makes sense.
It's gonna be maniacal
and quantum-y.
Yeah. Okay. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which we did know about before, but they have confirmed that it is going to tie into WandaVision, which we also kind of figured because Wanda is also going to be in that movie, which we knew. But it's also going to tie into the third upcoming Spider-Man movie,
right? Which
has had many rumors abound about it, but Doctor Strange is going to be the Iron Man kind of mentor role in that one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
There's apparently going to be all sorts of weird stuff happening in Spider-Man and the multiverse. Like they had a fake multiverse in the last Spider-Man movie. I think it sounds like they're going for the real one. The latest rumors are the two other live-action Spider-Mans are going to be reprising their roles.
I heard that, yep.
The villain from the second Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, Electro, is going to be coming back. Jamie Foxx reprising his role.
Oh, he is? Okay.
And Spider-Man 2, the original with Tobey Maguire. Dr. Octopus is apparently coming back. Alfred Molina reprising his role.
Is he actually?
Oh,
Whoa,
yeah. Which is, of course, the original good villain in a superhero movie that has given us all these superhero movies since. Yes. So it's really cool.
We're going to have to do some rewatching before this comes out if this is the case here.
So, Spider-Man 3 is going to be really big. This wasn't involved in this investors call because that's, of course, a Sony movie. They're just kind of lending their characters to it.
Right.
But it's going to tie in directly into Doctor Strange.
And I'm very curious to see what they do with Doctor Strange. Again, that's another character who was, like, they were building him up, and then they had to kind of just, like, they had to leave him at that level, like, plateaued, right? Because they had to do everything with, of course, Iron Man and Spider-Man and everything like that. So now we're going to see what happens with Doctor Strange.
And Benedict Cumberbatch is pretty cool.
I would never be opposed to watching Benedict Cumberbatch movies. Give me all the Tom Hiddleston and all the Benedict Cumberbatch, and let's throw in some Oscar Isaac, and I'm a very happy person.
You're pretty easy to please, actually.
Well,
You're just like happy about everything.
I'm happy. Well, we're going to get to Star Wars here in a minute, and then I'm going to get really happy.
Oh, boy. They saved the big announcement.
There you go.
It's literally just a title screen, 0 details.
Yep.
But
not even a year.
With the acquisition of Fox, they brought in my comic book superhero team back into the fold of Marvel, the Fantastic Four. We've had Fantastic Four movies before, sort of. But I am really, 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 really excited to see what they can do with it in the context of the MCU with someone like competent running it.
Yep. Just that level of cinematic awesome.
Yes. So the only thing we know about it is it's being directed by the same dude who directed the first 2 Spider-Man MCU movies, the Tom Holland ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which were good.
They're good. Yep. They're fun. It's in the same, like, Spider-Man and Fantastic Four are kind of the same kind of humor tone. The other one that would have worked is apparently the director of Ant-Man really wanted to make a Fantastic Four movie, and that's a similar tone as well.
So it's lighter. It's very action focused.
Maybe they'll let him help. I don't know.
Okay,
We'll
cool. Okay, so that takes us from Marvel into Lucasfilm. So 10 different Star Wars series coming to Disney Plus. Some details about those series, other Star Wars projects, but that's not all that came from Lucasfilm.
Well, Lucasfilm, the other big property of Lucasfilm, of course, is Indiana Jones.
Yes.
And they're still going ahead with making the 5th. Wait, there was a 4th one?
We don't talk about that.
Oh, okay. The 5th Indiana Jones movie, Harrison Ford being Indiana Jones for the 5th and final time.
They use the word final more than once.
Yes. Well, I mean, he is really old. I wouldn't probably want a 6th one, but hopefully they can send the series off in a respectful and good manner.
It really felt like they were going to have the 4th one be the final one, and then of course it went as it did, reception-wise and everything like that. So can't be surprised they want to, have a do-over for final.
Yes, this is going to be the first Indiana Jones that's not directed by Steven Spielberg. He's staying on as an executive producer, so he'll have his input and stuff. But hopefully it's good and not Crystal Scully.
Yeah. So July 2022 is our date for that serious summer blockbuster-y type movie. I think that's what we're going for.
We'll start hearing some more details about it next year.
Yeah, it's just in pre-production right now,
we
moving
don't know
along.
what the MacGuffin is this time or anything yet.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So we'll see. Okay. Star Wars Disney Plus series.
Okay.
Okay, we need to prepare here.
Okay, I'm oxygenated now, so what are we starting with here? You pick.
Okay, well, got the Mandalorian already. We're getting 2 spin-offs.
2 spin-offs?
Yes, okay. So one is Rangers of the New Republic.
Oh.
And then the one I'm probably most excited for.
I think you and, like, every other Star Wars nerd ever.
We get an Ahsoka one. And I'm not even we haven't even watched Rebels or anything. I just love Ahsoka.
Yes.
Already, yeah.
So Ahsoka is a really interesting original character
Yeah.
that she debuted in Clone Wars as Anakin Skywalker's Padawan that we had never heard of. And I will say in the first season, she's really rough, annoying. But then she grows into this role naturally. They gave her time to expand, and she just becomes this beloved character that's awesome and probably the best thing in that series. And then she recently had her live-action, spoiler alert, reveal in the episode of Mandalorian.
Rosario Dawson, who is
yeah, it's great. So that'll be a really fun series. And this Rangers of the New Republic could be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Apparently, they say that they're planning on having the 3 shows, Mandalorian and then the 2 spin-offs, having crossovers. Like, they really want to make this interwoven as well.
Kind of build up a little Disney Plus cinematic universe where they can have a big crossover event at the end for the big climax where they shovel a whole bunch of money and make it a movie event almost.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun, that one. So, do we have dates on any of those? I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
It's just that, hey, it's coming.
Probably 2022.
Yeah. It seems like they have 2021 pretty locked down.
They might spin up the spin-offs in season 3 of Mandalorian.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, too.
Right.
I think it makes sense. Okay. After that, we also got The Bad Batch.
Right.
And that's animated.
It's basically a spin-off of the Clone Wars.
Yes.
It takes place during the rise of the Empire. Order 66 has happened, so the clones have murdered their Jedi friends. And we follow this squad of clones. One of them's dressed like Rambo for some reason. I don't know.
I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah, it looks like fun. It's like really cool animation. Like they've gotten really good at animation through doing Rebels and Clone Wars. So that's cool.
I think it's going to be a really interesting time period too in that.
You can look at the rise of the Empire, which is something that we haven't explored. We saw the fall of the Republic in the prequel trilogy, and we saw the fully formed Empire in the original trilogy.
But there's that time period.
There's a time period to explore. Yep.
All right. What's next? I started squealing.
Speaking of prequels, what are we looking at?
Andor.
Andor, yeah. Okay, so Cassian Andor from Rogue One. He's the roguish pirate captain kind of thing from that movie. He's getting a limited prequel series,
right?
Kind of exploring his dark and dirty work for the Rebel Alliance before the events of Rogue One, which would have to be before the events of Rogue One.
It's not going to be after.
And it's not going to be after. So
yeah. Well, okay. This is the other thing I'm really, really excited for. You know, I said there were 3 things. This is my third one.
Yep.
Because Rogue One might be my favorite Star Wars movie.
It's definitely my favorite Disney-made one. I don't hate the sequel trilogy as much as a lot of people, but
nor do I.
That Rogue One was a very well done way to do a Star Wars movie, but kind of take it into a different genre. Like it was like a full-out war movie.
We have rewatched it a couple times now, and every time I watch it, I'm just like, this is an amazing, amazing movie, and I loved it. It is not just because I am a fan of Diego Luna, who plays Cassian, but it's just like, it's a fantastic movie. And then after the success of Rogue One, we started hearing rumblings they wanted to do something with this character. He had made a couple references throughout the film about all of the things they did leading up to this, and kind of excusing that in his mind, and like it's a war movie. They were dealing with the effects of that, and they really wanted to explore that more.
The great issues of running a rebellion will be explored, just like we're going to see the buildup of a fascist empire. We're going to see the people fighting against that building up as well,
and all of the tenuous kind of decisions that are made, and you get that there's some ethical questions there. Probably why I think the character was so well done in that movie was he would make comments about he did things he didn't necessarily agree with in service of this effort, and we finally get to know what they're going to do with this, and it is this series coming to Disney Plus we just know 2022. We don't know much more about it. We did see a little bit of behind the scenes things.
Yeah, they're currently filming it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Really exciting.
Something a little different. The Acolyte was announced. So if you've been paying attention to Star Wars news, they've had like kind of book series coming out, different time period called the High Republic. This is a long time ago, like thousands of years before your typical Star Wars Skywalker saga time period, back when the Jedi Order was at its absolute height.
Right.
And it's going to be following these Jedis kind of just doing their Jedi stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I like seeing a new time period in this universe. I think that's going to be really cool. Another one that got everyone really excited.
Well, they've been rumbling about trying to bring him back for a bit, but the big news, Obi-Wan Kenobi series, they talked a little bit more about. We'd already knew that was coming. And
but we didn't know much about it.
We still don't know much about it, but Ewan McGregor's going to be coming back as a middle-aged Obi-Wan. Yay! His time period between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, when he ages like 30 years in the span of 10, but whatever.
They're really good at things like makeup and stuff now, okay?
There's 2 suns on Tatooine. It ages a person, okay?
Exactly.
But no, the big news was that Hayden Christensen is coming back and is going to be Darth Vader in this series.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be interesting how they try and work that out, because there was some lines in A New Hope about when they had last seen each other, but we can forgive some continuity errors. Like, whatever. Those movies were like 50 years ago now.
That's true. Yeah. We can...
they're almost... Oh, man. It's going to be the 50th anniversary of Star Wars coming up here pretty quick.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just the anniversary of Empire.
Your 40th. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's
coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
Okay. Yeah, that was a big one. Another one, which I think is going to be fun, we don't have many details about. We just know that there is a droid story. Again, Disney Plus, and it's going to kind of be about R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Yeah, some kind of little side missions that they did. They've had some episodes of Clone Wars where they do that, so that's always fun. Some banter back and forth.
And of course, I mean, the droids are awesome, so...
Yes.
Yes. Okay, what else?
They announced a Lando series.
Ooh.
No details.
Nope.
We don't know if it's going to be old Lando.
Nothing.
Or young Lando.
Nope.
We don't know who's going to be playing Lando or what, but
we just know Lando is coming.
Yeah. And he's a fantastic character. You can explore all sorts of things, seedy underbelly stuff, and gangsters, and
he's a fun character too. Like you get And then we have something kind of different as well.
Yeah, so they're going to make an anime anthology called Star Wars Visions.
And that's basically all we know about it.
It's anime.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but okay.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll
see what happens.
We'll see what happens with that, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not a huge anime fan.
No, it's not my thing. That, like, we're talking about nerd things.
Yeah.
That's a nerd genre that is not.
No, not
I've
so much.
tried to watch certain things, and I'm just like, nope, not for me.
Okay, yeah. So we'll see what they do with Star Wars
Yes.
then.
Yeah.
That might bring you over to the anime side.
Well, if it's good, it's good. Whatever, right?
Yep, exactly. Okay.
And so, yeah, that's their slate of Disney Plus things. Just a couple things to think about.
Just a
One
couple.
or two, yeah. But they are still going to be in the Star Wars movie business.
Yeah.
The really big announcement was that Patty Jenkins, the director of the 2 Wonder Woman movies, is coming over to the Disney side to make Rogue Squadron. Mm-hmm. And she posted a nice little video.
It was really awesome.
Introducing it, talking about her father, who was a fighter pilot, and how she's always wanted to make the perfect fighter pilot movie.
Yeah.
And then she walks off into the sunset towards an X-wing in her flight suit, and it's really touching and stuff like that.
It's both touching and super exciting at the
Yeah.
same time.
So
I was like, I've got goosebumps and want to cry. Oh my goodness.
basically, the gist I got from this is they're gonna make Top Gun, but in Star Wars.
Yeah, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that isn't set to come out until December 2023.
Yeah, they got lots of time to do that.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be a big one.
And they also reconfirmed that Taika Waititi is making a Star Wars feature.
Oh, that's going to be cool. I love him.
Yes, I want to see what he can do in a full length. Like he directed that last episode of The Mandalorian.
Yep, which was my favorite.
In season 1.
Yep.
And I just want to see his style in Star Wars. Like,
yeah, and we've seen films by him.
yeah, well, pretty much anything he does is amazing.
Totally.
So
I mean, not that it's Star Wars or Disney at all, but Jojo Rabbit he did, and that was like one of my favorite movies of the last like couple years, probably.
Yeah, well, and Disney related, he saved the Thor franchise.
Totally. Oh my goodness, did he ever?
So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. We don't have any information about that whatsoever.
No, just
it's happening.
That is happening. Much to his surprise on Twitter.
That's a lot of Star Wars. That's just Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's more.
They do some other stuff. Yeah. Disney wise.
Yeah.
That's not Star Wars or Marvel.
No.
They still make Disney animated films
They do.
and TV shows and things like that for the kiddies.
Yep. Okay.
Or the old kiddies.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not a kiddie. I don't think anymore. Disney Animation and Pixar is also its own like grouping, and they had a whole lot of announcements as well.
Exactly.
Disney Animation, lots of projects coming. Holy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rapid fire through these ones because that's a lot.
There's just so many. Okay, Raya and the Last Dragon premieres March 5th. It premieres in a few months.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so basically we're gonna finish up WandaVision, and right before we start the Winter Soldier,
you're gonna have a movie to watch.
We're gonna have a movie to watch.
I don't know anything about this
That
movie.
is going to be kind of doing the same deal as Mulan, though. It's
Right.
going to have premiere access in theaters, and then they're planning on doing a wide release later. I believe.
Okay.
I believe. Baymax, a series based on Big Hero 6.
Yes.
Yes, so excited. And that's going to be a really fun one. Early 2022.
Okay, that's a little ways off, but
Yep.
I love Baymax.
Most
so.
of these we're looking at 2022 or even into 2023 or just down the road. Okay, yeah, we love Baymax. I know you do especially, so that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Zootopia Plus, a new series based on Zootopia, coming to Disney Plus spring 2022.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Tiana, based on Princess and the Frog, Disney Plus in 2023. We don't have much more, like a month or anything on that one.
So my guess when I saw this is it's gonna tie into the new ride.
That's a good theory because there's a lot of questions about the ride, how they're going to do that, because they have made it clear that was when they announced the ride, they said it's going to be
After the movie.
After the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes sense now that they're like, how are we going to have this world that people don't really know?
Yeah.
But they're going to have a show about it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's exactly. I totally agree with you. A long-form musical comedy series for Moana, 2023.
I hope the evil crab is in it.
It's shiny.
Because he's shiny.
It's shiny.
And that was my favorite part from that movie.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Super shiny.
Yeah.
I just love everything Lin-Manuel Miranda writes, so I'm hoping he's on board for that one. Encanto is a new movie set in Colombia with music written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, speaking of.
That guy's busy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Because there's more with him coming down the pike, too. And that is in development. We don't have, like, a time frame or anything. We don't have any other information. We just get the title, the setting, who's writing the music, and just it's in development. We don't know anything else about it. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. I believe it's Iwaju.
Yeah, that sounds like a good guess to me.
Iwaju.
We'll go with that, yeah.
Okay, so there's an original long-form series, and it's premiering on Disney Plus on 2022, and that's all we've got for that one as well.
Okay.
Yep. That takes us to the Pixar Disney Plus series. Okay, why don't you start this one?
Okay, so they've had some sparked shorts on Disney Plus for a while now.
Yep.
I think that Out
Yes.
episode.
Holy, was that ever good?
Was
okay,
really, really good.
Pause for a minute. If you haven't seen that, go to Disney Plus right now and watch it.
Yeah, it's only like 9 minutes long or something,
yeah,
but
maybe.
it's really, really good. You might want some Kleenex.
I
But,
bawled. I bawled in 9 minutes. I didn't even little cry. I was sobbing. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's really cute and really well done. So they're coming out with another one of those for Christmas Day.
Oh, hey, that's the same day that Soul releases.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So you're gonna have some Christmas Day Disney Plus watching.
Yeah, well, everyone's at home.
Yeah, well, you got nothing else to do. You
Eat
get
some turkey.
You get up and see what Santa brought you, and turn on your Disney Plus.
That sounds fun.
Okay.
And that one's called Burrow.
Burrow, yes. So what is it about? A groundhog or
I have no idea.
something?
I don't have any idea what it's about, but we'll probably watch it.
It's the rare crossover with Tremors. Disney. No? Okay.
Do they sing and dance? Because that would be amazing.
We're going to have really easy 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon then, if that's
true.
the case. Okay. Anyway. Then we got Pixar Popcorn.
This is going to be fun.
Shorts featuring iconic Pixar characters. Okay, so we had a lot of fun with the Forky shorts.
Yes, those were so much fun.
So hopefully,
a couple minutes long.
Yeah, I assume that's going to be in this sort of same vein. They'll just have some Pixar characters interacting outside of their movie universes. I'm sure. So it'll just be kind of fun.
Yeah, we get to hang out with the beloved characters as opposed to in the movies.
Yeah.
And that starts streaming in January right away. So we
yeah.
get some fun in the new year.
Yeah.
All right.
And this one is going to be fun. I don't know how adult it will be, but Doug Days, starring Doug from Up, is going to be coming out in 2021 fall.
Yep.
And Doug is just adorable.
Oh, Doug's amazing.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Absolutely.
And this one is not very exciting to me because I don't really like the Cars movies, but they are making a Cars series.
I think a lot of kids are going to enjoy this.
Yes, it's good. This one is good for the kids, and it's going to sell a lot of toys, which is what Cars is for.
100%.
Good for them, I guess.
Or maybe, you know what? Maybe the series is going to be awesome. It comes out in fall 2022. It might lean us over towards Cars.
I'm not holding my breath.
I'm not either. Pixar has done a lot of amazing movies really well, and in my opinion, Cars would be the bottom of it. I mean, I didn't...
Especially Cars 2.
Well, yeah, okay, not counting Cars 2. I didn't hate Cars or anything like that.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine. It was fun. But, I mean, Pixar has a very high bar.
Yeah.
And Cars wasn't there.
When you're making, like, pure art house movies like WALL-E...
Oh, my goodness.
And like, the best short film tacked onto a feature film... In Up, the first 10 minutes of Up.
Oh my gosh, they did better in the first 10 minutes of Up than like some whole love story movies have done. Like, so Cars wasn't there for us. However, 2022, following Lightning McQueen and Mater, we have that series coming, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people who do love Cars.
Oh, it's gonna be good value for families to have Disney Plus.
Yeah.
With all this original content.
Mom and Dad can watch Star Wars, MCU, and then all of our fantastic nostalgia things, and little Johnny can sit in front of the Cars series.
Or Little Susie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just put that on repeat, and
they'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yep, totally better. And then we have Win or Lose.
It's not a game show.
No,
I thought maybe they were going to make a game show, but it's the first original long-form animated series from Pixar.
Okay.
And it's going to follow a middle school softball team.
Interesting. You know, in the 90s, Disney did a lot of, like, sports feel-good type
They were
things.
big on the sports. Well, they have been for a while.
Yeah. Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks, but, like, before that, Bad News Bears.
Yeah, that's right.
So I assume it'll be in that kind of vein.
Yeah,
kind
coming
of
back to that idea.
cheesy sports.
Probably. We don't have very much about it except that it's coming in the fall of 2023, so we've got a ways to wait for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Movies.
Yeah, they are still going to make movies.
They are, yep.
Even after all that other stuff that they're doing. Okay, Luca is coming out in theaters June 2021.
Hey, that's not that far
That's
now.
pretty cool. It's set in Italy, so that's fun.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. That'll be neat to see what they do with Italy,
Yeah.
because they've hit, like, I mean, Coco was in Mexico and Ratatouille was in France and things like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they can do with Italy.
You know what I kind of think about this? I think this is going to tie into them doing something in Epcot.
That's a good idea, and like they can have a nice restaurant.
Exactly.
Italian
Italy,
food is good.
Cool. I'm excited about this one. I love Italy. I love Pixar. June will be a good time.
And next we have a little bit of a controversial one.
Okay.
Announced that they're going to make a Lightyear movie. This is apparently going to be based the human person that they based the Buzz Lightyear toy on.
Yes.
And it's computer animated, but not toy based.
Yeah.
And it's going to be voiced by Chris Evans.
Who's very excited about it, apparently.
He's very excited about it, but some people are kind of a little ticked off that they're changing the voice and don't really understand the project. So we'll see what it's like. They had an animated series back on like Disney Channel or whatever,
I remember that, yeah.
Where they had Buzz as a like a real character out doing Space Ranger stuff. So I don't know if it's going to be like that or if it's going to be more grounded. And we'll see how that goes.
That comes out in summer 2022, so it's interesting because on one hand I can see, okay, like why are you bothering changing the voice if you're just doing voice work? However, one is supposed to be the voice of the toy, one is supposed to be the voice of the like human, even though it's animated. So interesting. Interesting. Okay.
And then finally, this one came out of the blue.
I'm super excited about it.
But it looks really cool. It's called Turning Red. And apparently the plot is a 13-year-old girl is going through puberty, coming-of-age story, yeah. Yep. That's always tough. She finds out that she turns into a giant red panda. Well, the first thing I'll say is red pandas are one of the most adorable animals on the planet.
They almost look like they shouldn't exist because they're so adorable.
They're like someone took a panda bear and mushed it in with a kitty cat and turned it into a stuffed animal that can walk around and play and stuff. So
I wonder if this was literally them like, okay, we need to sell as many stuffed animals as possible.
Yeah, there is going to be a lot of stuffed animals for this one. Yeah. So yeah, that's fun. Red pandas are cute. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. If nothing else, we get to see an animated red panda hanging out for a while, right? It's in development. We don't have any date or anything like that on that one.
Yeah, animation takes a while, so that makes sense.
Okay.
So so that takes us through Marvel, Star Wars, Disney Animation Studios, and Pixar.
Right.
Disney also owns some other stuff. They bought Fox.
Yes, they did.
They also have National Geographic content on Disney Plus.
That's right.
So they're also doing some other things.
Yep.
They are making an Alien TV series.
Cool.
As in Alien with the little mouth and the so this isn't going to be on Disney Plus because it's Alien, which is
that's not a child-friendly thing.
It's a rated R type of thing.
Yep.
But it will be for FX, which Disney owns, and Hulu, which we do not get in Canada. But I want to mention that there was a big announcement for international Disney Plus subscribers that they're making a subsection on Disney Plus called Star.
Okay.
And that's where they're going to put all this original content that they're making for Hulu in international markets, and it's going to be included in your Disney Plus subscription.
So I have a question. Do you think that they'll put things like this Alien series on there?
I think so.
Okay.
I do think so. That's what this announcement led me to believe, which is good. It's going to be
cool.
really good value for us.
So, do they have a date on when that is going to show up? No. Get some more content out there first, and then probably put it up, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. That is going to be good value.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what they can do with an Alien long-form TV show. They haven't had any good Alien things since Aliens in, like,
I don't know. I thought Alien vs. Predator was fun. I'm not saying it was good. I'm saying it was fun.
It was not as good as it should have been.
That's also fair.
That sort of thing writes itself. They dropped the ball on that. Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah. Alien, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
In this kind of the same vein as the Jeff Goldblum series, they're going to have Will Smith and Chris Hemsworth doing a National Geographic series.
Two.
They're separate. Okay, I thought they were gonna. It'd be kind of an interesting pair.
Yeah.
But no, they both have their own shows. Will Smith has done a National Geographic series before.
Yes, I remember that.
This Strange Rock or something, and he kind of just narrated it. But I think he's going on adventures this time. Maybe.
Yeah, that's called
Welcome to Earth. Yeah. So he goes on an awe-inspiring journey where he gets paid to go look at cool stuff.
Cool.
Lucky dude. But,
the most extraordinary, unexplained phenomena. Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Nah, that would be Will Smith.
Yeah. And Chris Hemsworth's series is called Limitless, where he explores the limits of the human body, and they have a little picture of him in a wetsuit that looks like he's swimming in the North Pole.
That doesn't seem comfortable.
No.
No.
Anyway. So yeah, that'll be fun. Probably some shirtless Chris Hemsworth shots.
Oh, that's not bad.
Apparently he's even more muscle-bound these days because he's training for his role in the biopic of Hulk Hogan. So Hulk Hogan is famous for his 26-inch pythons, his biceps.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just listening.
So yeah, he's
been working out a lot.
He got pretty jacked,
man,
for that role.
That'll be fun to watch.
The joke was the other Chris said that he has to stop working out before they film Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I was saying, you said the other Chris. I was like, which other Chris? 'Cause we have more than one.
It's true.
But then
Chris Pratt.
Yes, Chris Pratt. Yes.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, you have to stop working out before we film Guardians of the Galaxy 3, please.
So you remember Thor from the last movie?
Yeah.
Let's go revert to that a
yeah,
little bit.
exactly. Bring back Fat Thor. The
Lebowski.
Lebowski.
Thor. Ice Age is also getting a spin-off series starring Simon Pegg.
Oh.
Yes.
So yeah, Ice Age, of course, was a Fox animation property now owned by Disney, so they're going to keep exploring that for kids. I don't remember this, but apparently it's going to be focusing on the weasel.
Yep.
Must have been Ice Age 3 or
Maybe.
something.
I don't really remember. We haven't watched Ice Age in a very long time.
Yes. That was cute, but...
Yep, that's fine. But apparently the weasel was named Buck, and so the movie is titled Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. And Simon Pegg is the voice of Buck. We just know it's coming early 2022. I really like Simon Pegg, so I think that'll be fun.
Yeah. And so that is a lot of content that's coming out.
Yep.
And due to that, they did announce that the subscription price for Disney Plus is going to be going up $1 in the States.
Yeah.
I haven't seen what they're doing in Canada.
Right.
We're on the annual plan, so it'll be a while before we see that to ourselves. But, I mean, they're giving you more, so you're going to be paying, maybe paying a little more.
$1 more a month starting in March. Yeah. It makes sense. They're putting they're putting a lot of stuff out there now, so I guess we can't be surprised at that.
Yeah, so that's a lot of content.
That is a lot of content.
Do we still have time to talk about
Let's quickly talk.
Our main subject?
Our main subject is now a tiny little subject at the end.
A little addendum.
A little addendum.
The appendix.
Right. It's holiday time. It is still Christmas time.
It is, yes.
It is. With all of this other information coming out, especially the Star Wars information, our original plan was to talk about the holiday specials. So let's just condense that into like a couple minutes.
Okay. So, holiday special.
There's 2 Star Wars holiday specials now.
Yes.
Okay. First one came out
1978.
1978.
That's important because it's shortly after Star Wars was in theaters, and it was before Empire Strikes Back was finished or anything.
Right.
So it was kind of like a bridge.
Right. So apparently the idea behind it was Lucas was like, man, Chewbacca's a really cool character. Let's hang out with Wookiees.
Yeah.
And that didn't go as well as he was hoping.
Well, so what I heard is he wrote the first draft for it. He wanted to explore the Wookiees, and he wanted to introduce Boba Fett. That was his goals. And it was going to be more a traditional little mini Star Wars adventure with the backdrop of this Life Day made-up holiday.
Right.
And then he wrote this first draft. They handed it over to the TV producers who went, you know what's cool? Variety shows.
Yeah.
Let's make a variety show.
Especially around the holidays.
Yeah. So
it was the 70s.
It
it was a bad time.
It was, it's just messed up. You got B. Arthur singing in the cantina. You got Chewbacca's grandpa, like, watching holographic porn.
Basically was.
No, like,
it was uncomfortable.
It is extremely. It's really weird.
Yeah.
The best part of it is the Boba Fett animated section. That's really cool, actually.
And it was produced by a Toronto animation firm, so it was Canadian.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, no, that was good. And that was about it.
Yep. Yeah. I just for fun, here's a couple critical responses at the first when it was first released.
Oh boy.
It was a hypnotically insane aberration. It was called The Worst of Star Wars, The Worst of Sci-Fi, mixed with the worst of variety TV. And then someone said, I'm not entirely convinced the special wasn't ultimately written and directed by a sentient bag of cocaine.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one.
And someone said it's hilarious, but like unintentionally hilarious because you laugh at it.
Oh.
But the thing is, I wasn't even laughing at it.
No, it's not even so bad that it's funny. It's just really painful to sit through.
But Lucas has said they had very little and they didn't have anything to do with it. Anthony Daniels refers to it as a giant turd. Harrison Ford claims to have never seen it. Carrie Fisher had Lucas give her a actual copy of it. This is quite a famous story. And she said she would use it at the parties that she wanted to break up, and she'd just put it on and people would start to leave. That's excellent. No, there's an old interview with Harrison Ford on the Conan O'Brien show from the 90s where they mention this, and so I hear you were in the holiday special, and Harrison Ford just scowls and starts shaking his head, and then they play a clip of it, and yeah, it's quite funny. So look that up on YouTube, look it up.
and if our sales job has made you really want to see this, you can probably find it on YouTube.
Yeah, we found it on YouTube.
A bootleg copy of it. Like it does not exist in official form. They kind of got rid of it. So
it was only played once on TV in the States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. My favorite thing was just recently, actually. It was in response to the 2020 presidential debate. On September 29th, Mark Hamill chimed in. And
who is a fantastic follow on Twitter.
Yes, absolutely. If you do not already follow Hamill, go do it. He said that was the worst thing he had ever seen. And I was in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Excellent.
And then, actually, just as a very short little fun story, I teach senior high music with someone else, and last year for Christmas, we were talking about the holiday special, and the kids really, really wanted to watch it, and we kept telling them, no, you really, really don't want to watch it. We found a bootleg copy of it. We played it for them. Within 8 minutes, they're like, no, please, we would rather do homework.
Can we have a pop quiz instead, please?
And we were like, no, you have to sit here and watch it. We warned you. So it was punishment.
You have to live with your choices.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is a natural consequence for bad choices in life. So November 17th, which is Life Day this year,
yes,
we had a new holiday special by Star Wars come out. This one was Lego.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar, Lego has done some parody films and games. They got their start in games. They kind of Star Wars Lego games are big, and they explore universes, Harry Potter, Indiana Jones, all sorts of things with little Lego dudes, and it's all very hard parody.
Right.
And it's quite funny.
Yeah.
So they decided to tackle the Star Wars Holiday Special in Lego form. And it brings in all the new sequel trilogy characters as they're preparing for a Life Day celebration. And
they're making Tip Yip.
They're making Tip Yip, which you can get in Disneyland.
Yes, you can.
And Galaxy's Edge.
Yep.
So it ties into that as well. I think they do talk about Batuu, maybe. Maybe not. I don't remember. But it's really funny. And it's really good for any Star Wars fan. They kind of go through absolutely every piece of Star Wars and
even Mandalorian's in it.
Yeah, even Mandalorian's in it. And they kind of just make fun of it, and it's hilarious. I was laughing so hard I was crying.
Yeah, we watched it on the night it came out on November 17th, and it was the perfect thing to just bring in holidays. I mean, I know it's not Christmas, it's Life Day, but it was just like warm fuzzies mixed with just comedy, and it was fantastic. When we first heard they were doing that, and it was like, why is anyone touching this holiday special? It is notoriously bad.
Yes.
It's like famous for how bad it is. And they took the holiday special and changed it so much and just made it a million times better. And I was like, man, is this now going to be on one of our must-watch lists every year?
Well, I mean, it's short enough. You can burn through it, kind of like Rudolph and the original Grinch
it's like,
cartoon.
half an hour, 40 minutes, something like
and
that.
it's really, really cute. So
a lot of
that's
fun.
good.
recommend.
The original holiday special Star Wars is definitely the worst piece of Star Wars content there ever has or ever will be.
Yep.
It makes Jar Jar Binks look like Citizen Kane.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I think the original Star Wars holiday special might be one of the worst television content pieces of television content.
There's a lot of bad television content out there.
They've done, looking back, when it became the year 2000 and then so on and so forth, and it made every list of top 3 worst moments of television history.
Yeah,
most ridiculous moments of television history.
It's bad. You know what? I bet Jumping the Shark was on that list.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Anyway,
yes. On the one hand, you have something ridiculously bad, and on the other hand, you have something super fun that we're highly recommending watching.
Yes.
Yes.
And you don't need to watch the original to watch the Lego version.
Heavens no. In fact, we recommend not watching the original unless you just really want to.
Yeah. Or your children have been bad and you want to punish them.
Like I said, it's punishment.
Yeah. The other cool thing about the new Lego holiday special is that this year's Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar features all the characters from it.
Which you have.
I have been opening each day. I haven't opened today's yet, but
well, it's because we're drinking coffee.
It's been a lot of fun. So you could do that as well.
Yeah, and actually, if you follow us on Instagram, it's disneya.podcast. I've been in the Instagram stories posting every day what you get in your Lego one, and then I have a Marvel Pop one, and so I post those 2 every day.
We are very nerdy.
Super nerdy. Yeah, definitely. And we get toys every day, which is super fun.
Yeah.
But I really your Advent calendar's a lot of fun. And yesterday you got the pork, and I was very happy about it because I love the pork.
It's an interesting Advent calendar because some days you get a figure which you can put together in 2 seconds.
Yes.
And some of them are more involved. I was putting together the Millennium Falcon the other day, and that was quite a difficult build for a small 20-piece Lego thing. So
it's a good mix. You have a lot of different variety in there. It's Christmassy, and I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Follow us on Instagram. You can definitely see that, and it's fun. All right.
Okay, so I think we've rambled on long enough.
We tried to do that very quickly.
Yes. That was going to be a whole episode, what we just did in 5 minutes.
Well, we cut out a lot.
Yes, because we had more important things to talk about.
Well, the investors meeting happened, and then we just basically slashed a lot of the...
Yes.
Yeah. It was a whole lot of talking about how bad the original special was.
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But
right.
Anyway.
So that brings us to trivia.
All right.
Last time I asked you some questions,
mm-hmm.
and we were talking Disney and Christmas. My first question was about the smells that Disney pumps into the park and different things. And I asked you what the devices were called that are used for transmitting those scents, the specific name that Disney has patented. This is what you said.
Okay, so we're going to take this back to Phineas and Ferb. It's the Smellinator!
That's a good guess. I like it.
I don't even care if it's wrong. That's what I'm calling them.
Your name was awesome.
Yeah, it is better, actually.
It's actually called the Smellitzer. So, you're on the right vein.
Yeah.
You're
okay.
On the right track.
Well, they can change it now that they have Phineas and Ferb. So they should just
probably petition them.
They lean into it.
Yeah, exactly. Embrace it all the way. Question number 2 was how many twinkling lights adorn the facade of Small World Holiday? So I gave you a multiple choice on this. It was either just under 100,000, more than 300,000, or exactly 1 million. This is what you guessed.
I'm just gonna guess B. I don't even remember what it was.
B was more than 300,000.
Yeah.
And you were absolutely correct. It is more than 300,000. Good guess.
Yeah.
You went middle of the road.
I don't know. It was 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
Although I will say that exactly 1 million is also more than 300,000.
Yes, well, that's true. That was a bad multiple choice.
Yeah, it was.
I'm a bad teacher.
Yeah.
And then last question. We haven't watched our yearly viewing of this yet. In The Muppets Christmas Carol, there are 2 Marleys instead of 1. Jacob Marley's from the original novel. Who is the other Marley? Who is he named after? We weren't even going to consider this a question anymore. You were so confident.
He's Robert Marley because they needed characters for Statler and Waldorf.
Exactly.
He's Robert Marley, of course, named after the famous reggae singer Bob Marley.
Yes. You were absolutely right.
Yeah, I know.
But he was Robert Marley, named after Bob Marley.
Yes.
Yes. And you were. That wasn't even a question.
Yeah, I don't. That was terrible trivia. terrible.
It was too easy.
It was good, but we got to think about Muppets Christmas Carol.
Mostly, that's why I included it.
Yeah. Perfect. So I have to ask you some questions.
You do.
Okay. This week we talked a lot about the new streaming things that are coming out. Mm-hmm. Recently, the Nielsen Ratings Board has started looking at streaming and what's the most popular.
Okay.
What is the most popular streaming television show right now?
On any service?
This past week, on any service, yeah.
I know, like, what's number 1 in Netflix, and I know, like, in different things, but I don't know, like, across all the services. I'm going to guess Mandalorian. Yep, I'm going to go with it.
I'm gonna give you a hint.
Yeah.
9 out of the top 10 are Netflix shows.
Okay, it's not Mandalorian. The number 1 streaming this last week.
Yeah.
Schitt's Creek.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that next week.
This is hard. I don't like this question.
Okay, so
this is bad trivia.
we also no, that's good trivia. You don't know. It just makes you think about popular streaming because that's what we're talking about. But we did talk about the Star Wars Holiday Special as well.
Yep.
Now you talked about Chewie's family.
Yep.
And his little nephew.
I think it's his son.
His son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's his son.
I block that from my memory, but we refer to him lovingly as Lumpy.
Yes.
What's his full name?
There are 2 versions of his full name. I know that. And it's something like ridiculous. And I read it like, I don't know, a week ago. You think I could remember it? Is it like, it's like Lumpaloo or something? No, that's not it. But I don't know. It's something ridiculous like that. And I'm really annoyed because when I read it, I was like, oh, I should remember that. Brandon's going to ask me about their real names for trivia. And I didn't.
Okay, so Lumpaloo you're going with.
Well, it's wrong, but yes, that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
I'm going to get 0 for 3 here. This is embarrassing.
The third question I'm going to go with today.
Okay.
It's going to be Star Wars Holidays focused as well.
Oh, good.
Because it was only aired once.
Yep.
There is a lot of bootleg copies floating around because that's the only really way you can watch it now.
Mm-hmm.
One of these famous bootleg copies ties into another property's holiday special. What is that tie-in, and what property am I talking about?
I have no idea. You didn't give me some kind of hint
You
here?
watch it every year.
I do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, now I'm just thinking of the ones I watch every year. So the only ones we really watch every year are Muppets Christmas Carol, Rudolph. I watch White Christmas. Can you... I'm going to go with White Christmas because I'm just thinking, like...
So White Christmas, which came out long before 1978, ties into...
Oh, you're thinking it tied in the other way.
Yes.
Okay. So, I have no idea. I'm going to go Muppets Christmas Carol, I guess.
Okay.
Because that's the one that came out after.
Yeah.
Of the 3 we watch every year.
You're going to laugh when you hear the answer. But yeah, okay.
Okay. I didn't like... These are bad questions. I am not a fan.
Oh, well. Yeah. It's better than being completely obvious.
Well, I guess. Well, enough of trivia, because that was ridiculous. I'm sure you might have a better idea, or if you just want to talk about how bad the Star Wars Holiday Special was, or how good the Lego one is, because that's really the only correct response to either of those films.
Or what you're most looking forward to out of this big old slate of stuff.
Oh man, I was like squealing hearing all of it. I've never been like, man, I wish I would have watched the Investors Call live stream.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about any of that stuff, go ahead and follow us on our socials. You can find our website as well at disneya.wixsite.com/podcast. But if you do want to follow us on social media, disneya.podcast is our Instagram. Facebook is at disneya, and Twitter is Disney A Podcast. We'd love to hear from you, and you can also complain with me about how ridiculous Brandon's trivia questions were.
I think they're good.
Yeah. Thanks also to El Mule, who's responsible for our custom theme song that you heard at the top of the show. On our website, again, that is disneya.wixsite.com/podcast. You can also find a link to all of his work. You can find Disney A episodes on all of your favorite streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, basically all the platforms. Please review our podcast. We'd really appreciate it. Subscribe. If you know someone who might like this podcast, be sure to recommend Disney A to them. We see that and we really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're trying to expand our reach. We've got some pretty cool stuff to talk about as the year dwindles here and as we go into 2021. And even more now with all this content coming out.
We're going to sit here and talk about it anyway, but...
Yeah, you may as well listen.
You might as well listen, so...
Right? Talk about it with us. That's cool. You get to hear about stuff that you're excited about, too. So we're trying to expand our reach. It would help us out a lot. Join us every Monday. Next week, we are talking Disney Christmas movies.
Unless there's another investor call or something. I don't know.
Then we're still going to talk Disney Christmas movies, but in like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it is going to be fun. If you listen to our This Is Halloween episode, we ranked all of them, and we didn't know how each other ranked them. So we're going to do the same. We're going to pick some Disney Christmas ones.
Christmas movies.
Exactly. We're going to pick some Christmas movies available on Disney+. There's
a good holiday selection of movies.
Yeah, we won't be able to do them all.
No, we're going to be narrowing it down to like the top 12, 14, something like that. There's some older classics and some newer ones.
We're going to try and do a little bit of a variety in there, and we'll be ranking them, and we'll be chatting about the Christmas offerings on Disney+. So that's next week. If you have an opinion on that, feel free to contact us on our social media as well. Like, what do we need to include on this list?
What is your favorite Christmas Disney movie?
You can probably guess mine.
Die Hard.
I don't think it's Disney.
Well, they did buy Fox, and it was a Fox movie.
Okay,
so,
well,
yes.
Okay, Disney. So, wait.
John McClane,
Is he
Disney Prince.
Princess?
Disney Prince confirmed.
Okay, how about we just talk about ones that are available on Disney+.
Okay.
Okay. So not the original holiday special by Star Wars.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
So be sure to contact us to let us know your favorites and what we need to include on our list. Until then, I'm Krysta.
And I'm Brandon.
So until the next adventure, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Thanks for listening to Disney A